What happens to the soul after death? I'm not trying to be cute or smart aleck, but I always say to people who ask me that question, and people do, it's a very logical question, it's a very reasonable question. What happens to you after birth? When the soul comes in, it's born, what happens to it? Well, the answer is everybody is completely different. And if you understand karma, you understand what happens is all according to their karma. So after death, it's the same story. You will go to that level of existence, and there are thousands of worlds. In Indian cosmology, sometimes they'll just set forth a smaller number than that. But basically, there are tiny gradations. And there are thousands of worlds. And it's a matter of magnetism. It won't be, you deserve to go to this good world. Oh, you deserve to go to that not so good world. No, no, no. The whole vibration of your mind and your life and your karma, everything about you, its key vibration, its prevailing, predominant vibration will take you right to the world that is exactly suited for you and for your development, hopefully. It may be an unpleasant world, but that's what you need, like in this world, when your karma has unhappy things happen to you. And that's what determines it. Now, Krishna says what you're thinking of at the very time of death. But see, he isn't just meaning before you go unconscious. It's what you're actually thinking of, and deep in you, you're still thinking of. You'll go to that. So the people who they die saying, "What am I going to do? So and so has such a problem," and they die with that on their mind. Well, they're going to come back and be born. I don't know where they're going to come for a while, but they're going to go to a world very like this world. There are worlds that people enter them, and it's a long time before they realize they're dead. Sometimes they don't know they're dead. They kind of feel kind of odd. They don't quite remember their life before they got there, but they just manage somehow. So you see, because you die when you're in the astral world, you die, you come back here, you die here, you go to the astral world or the causal world. So that's completely up to you. Literally, literally up to you. What you have made of yourself, and you can't give an excuse about others making you anything. What you've made of yourself is exactly what will determine what happens to you after death. There are people, they live unconsciously. They don't think about God. They don't act like they have a soul. They just live in a little tight, their life's a little hamster wheel. They just run in it. And they don't even have much aspirations for anything, not even materially. And they just kind of, mosey along and they die. They go to sleep. It takes some degree of evolution to be born as a human, and it all takes some degree of evolution to, in the world, be awake and objective and know you're an individual and see what it is where you are. So believe me, a lot of people, when they die, they just fall asleep. And it may be 200 years, but they'll be asleep and it'll be perfect dreamless sleep. So there's no sense of time passing. And then one day somebody's going to smack them on the rear end when their body's been brought out of the womb, and they're going to start crying and they're back here. But in between, unconsciousness. This I've witnessed for myself. Of course, you don't know that I'm telling you the truth, and you can assume I'm crazy. But I have seen people who, after death, were just totally asleep. Totally asleep. And there's a little more about the experiences I saw, but let's not go into that. So, what happens to you after death is exactly what you set yourself to be. If you buy a ticket to fly to South America, you're going to go there, not to Greenland. And that's one of the reasons why life in this world and in other worlds are so important to experience and look at and say, okay, where I am is what I am. I remember saying that to one of these super social action people. I said, where someone is what they are.